I set these things down so the great deeds of the world shall not fade from memory. So the dead shall not pass into silence. To the edge of the sea, every road leads back to the same hungry throne. 10,000 miles of Persia in every direction, and every city at the end of it alone. The trigger flows like blood from an open wound, from every coast, every valley, every shore. The eye of Persia sees all that it claims, but not the fire brewing at its door. I have walked the edges of what is sharpening in the dark? What is beating in the dark? In the cities by the sea, the old men still remember a freedom that their fathers spoke before the chains. They pour their wine and lower their voices and pass it like a fire in the rain. The young men hear it and they grip their spears. It moves faster than the kings of Rome. It has no wheels, no horses, no courier. It only needs one mouth and then it grows. I have walked the edges of the world. I have heard both sides of every war. This is the weight I carry. This is why I was born. Our roads lead east to the king of everything. took the lower town, but the citadel stood above us, high and proud and stone. Burn it! Let the smoke rise to heaven! Let the Persians see what free men will do! Burn every beam, every offering! The fire of Sardis will outlast me and you! Outlast me and you! A ring that roof caught first, and then another, and the flame that we set ran faster than a horse. The temple of Cybele fell through the same fire, and what we lit in anger burned beyond remorse. The Athenians saw the smoke and thought of home. 20 ships seemed fewer in the light of what we'd done. We sent them back before the king could hear the news. Thought the news ran faster than a Persian courier runs. The satraps fled before us, but the king sits in Susa, and he will not sleep until this debt is paid in blood. Burn it! Let the smoke rise to heaven! Let the Persians see what free men will do! Burn every beam, every offering! The fire of Sardis will outlast me and you! Outlast me and you! I have heard it told that the king of Persia, when he learned that Athens sent those ships, called for his bow and it shot an arrow to the sky, in order to serve and to repeat 3 times at every meal before the king sat down. Master, remember the Athenians. Master, remember the Athenians. He said, "Crack me, Lord of Light, revenge upon the West." The revolt spread outward like the fire itself. 5 years the frame had held against the king's wrath. My lead us the coast, the islands, every shore. 5 years before the reckoning came down the pain. Let the smoke rise to heaven. Let the Persians see what freeing and what time. And every beam, every offering. The fire of Sardis. And the king remembered too. day of pain, he said, and we met God. But the Samians had already made their bargain. Their sails were turning inward in the silence of their shame. We who would be free, we who held the line, we who drank the oath and said the sea was mine. Watched the Samians go and felt the order break. 300 ships abandoned for a traitor's sake. Night day, the water turned red. Night day, the free are the dead. Night day, the island fell. We would be free, broke on the swell. When the Samians turned their 60 ships and ran, the Isbians saw it and they followed in their wake. Fear is a fire that spreads faster than valor, and the line that we had built began to shake. 100 ships still fought the Chians held to the end. Their rowers pulled until the oars were soaked in blood. But the ships that would not break were the ones that were taken. And Miletus waited alone for what would come. The city had no fleet now, only walls. And walls are just a question of how long. We who would be free, we who held the line, we who drank the oath and said the sea was mine. Watched the Samians go and felt the order break. 300 ships abandoned for a traitor's sake. The water turned red. The free are the dead. The island fell. We would be free, broke on the swell. I set this down so the Samians shall be known, not for the honors they had won before, not for what came after, only for the thing they chose in that 1 hour. And I set down what the Chians did as well, not to balance the scales, but because it is true. They fought until their ships were taken under them and walked home through Ephesus in the dark. Both things happened. Both things are true. I do not choose between them. That is why I sang. They sold the women and the children of Miletus. They marched the men in chains toward the eastern throne. The prophecy of Delphi had come true before it, and the loveliest city on the coast stood alone. We would be free, the price has now been paid. We who held the line could not be saved. That day the water turned red. That day the free are the dead. Taste of Sardis burning. The dead of Athens lodged beneath his conceit. He sent his heralds west across the water, to every island, every port, every hill. Earth and water give the king his tribute. Some gave it gladly, some against their will. The Spartans threw their herald in Noel. bridge will span the world when I am done. From the eastern mountains to the Hellespont, one empire, one sun. No sea too wide, no mountain range too tall. I am the king of kings. I will have them all. He called his generals from the east, guided marches. He tallied his trireme from every sea. He would take the lesson of the coast of failure, not make the same mistake this time personally. Led for 5 years while his engineers labored. The world was a problem that gold could solve, but the king of kings was old and getting older. Their redemption even death cannot resolve. These arose before the fleet could sail. These financial vampires split and burned. He raged and flamed and measured out its ages. Took it with him all the way unearned. The bridge will span the world when I am done. From the eastern mountains to the Hellespont, one empire, one sun. No sea too wide, no mountain range too tall. I am the king of kings. I will have them all. He never crossed the sea, he hated. He never built the bridge he promised himself. He never saw Athens burn to nothing. He never paid their debt upon his shelf. Something passed between them in the dark, between the dying and the young. Say with no bottom and no ending. A war that was not over, may begun. Now thirsty set upon the ivory throne, with his father's unfinished vengeance in his hands. He called for his engineers to respond to guilders. He called for the greatest army ever raised on land. The bridge will span the world before we're done. From the eastern mountains to the Hellespont, one empire, one sun. No sea too wide, no mountain range too tall. The sons of kings of heroes, fathers dead set Before the battle there was only road, 150 miles of mountain and stone. Pheidippides ran with the message of Athens. He ran for 2 days and he ran alone. Past the olive groves, past the goat paths, past the shrines of gods who may or may not hear. The Persians have landed on the eastern shore. Sparta is the only hope from here. I recorded this man not for the generals or the kings on their thrones, but for the one who ran when no one else would, who carried a city's life in his bones. Run! The ships are on the water! Run! The ships are on 150 miles of road again. Athens would face the morning without the men from Sparta. He arrived before the battle with his answer. We march when the moon permits, not before. The generals of Athens looked at one another, looked at the Persian fleet upon the shore. Run, the ships are already landed. Run, 10,000 blades in the sand. Run, there is no moon that saves you now, Athens. There is no one coming. Stand!
No ships, no Spartans at our backs. 8,000 spears against 10,000 Persians. A mile of open ground to cross the gap. They had seen Greek formations, hold their ground before. Stand and wait and let the arrows fall like rain. Mills, they said, we will not stand this morning. We will run at them and close before they aim.
I know what they were thinking. Every man who fixed his eyes across that plain, that if they stopped, they died. That if they slowed, they died. So they ran like the world depended on that pain.
The thin bronze line is moving.
8,000 shields across the morning.
The thin bronze line is running.
The thunder of their feet, the only sound.
Marathon, the name will last forever. Marathon, the day the freemen ran. Not away, but at them, straight into the iron. The thin bronze line. Hold, 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 holster. The center bent beneath the Persian numbers. Miltiades had planned it. Let it bend. The wings crashed through and turned back to the middle. The trap that he had set closed at the end. The Persians broke before the sea behind them. Caught between the bronze and the tide. 7 ships they saved from all that fleet of hundreds. 6,400 Persian dead beside.
I counted everybody. I walked the ground myself when it was done. The Athenians lost 192 men. 192 against 6,000 under the sun.
The thin bronze line is moving.
8,000 shields across the morning
The
ground.
thin bronze line is running.
The thunder of their feet, the only sound.
Marathon, the name will last forever. Marathon, the day the freemen ran. had cleared. We walked among the Persian dead at morning, counted what we'd lost and what we'd feared. 192 will not go home. We built them out before the sun went down. Their names are in the earth at Marathon. The shield of Athens buried in the ground. I will not let them fade, not the living and not the dead beneath the plain. The ones who held a road more than a mound of earth, they erode every word I have remaining. Shield of Athens, shield of Athens, laid into the ground before the plain grew cold. Shield of Athens, shield of Athens, 192 names it must be told. They charged when no man thought to charge. They held when holding meant the end. The shield of Athens does not rust. The shield of Athens does not burn. Does not bend. Miltiades stood above the mound at sunset. The man who won the battle looked away. He knew the Persian fleet was still at sea. 10 days of sailing stood between this day. The fleet was moving west around the cape, toward the undefended walls of hope. He turned his army south and marched them through the night. Athens woke to fight, she was not alone. There still must be remembered that victory without vigilance is nothing. The men who won at dawn ran through the night to stand again between the city and its ending. Shield of Athens, shield of Athens, laid into the ground before the plain grew cold. Shield of Athens, shield of Athens, 192 names that must be told. They charged when no man thought to charge. They held when holding meant the end. The shield of Athens does not rust. The shield of Athens does not bend. The Persians saw the army on the shore, turned the fleet and pointed east toward home. They had come to burn a city to the ground, found the city waiting, not alone, not alone. It was said the dead stood on that shore, not alone, not alone. The fleet turned east and came no more. Shield of Athens, shield of Athens, laid into the ground before the plain grew cold. Shield of Athens, shield of Athens, 192 names that must be told. They charged when no man already empty the city. The ships are the walls, not the land. Wooden walls upon the water. Wooden walls between the fire and the free. Trust the ships, trust the timber. The oracle has given us the say. They left their homes without looking back. They left their temples and their olive groves. They left the hill that held their history and sailed into the darkened wooden halls. The city stood empty on the rock and waited for the fire it knew was coming. The people were the city, not the stone. And the people were already gone. Already running. Wooden walls upon the water. Wooden walls between the fire and the free. Trust the ships, trust the timber. The oracle has given us the The ships came home, but the sea was not finished. The mound was built, but the war was not done. 10 years of silence between two storms. 10 years of shadow beneath the same sun. The silver came up from the mines in the south, enough to build a fleet or fill a treasury. The Mistocles rose before the assembly and said, the sea is coming, give the silver to me. I set this down from what I have learned, so what came next is not mistaken. The thunder had been building for a decade. Every free man felt it in the morning. 10 years of thunder gathering in the east. 10 years of Persia sharpening the beast. 10 years of Athens hammering the fleet. 10 years before the world in war would meet. The storm is coming. The storm is coming. The storm has always been coming. 10 years of thunder, and then the sky broke open. 10 years of thunder, and the world would never be the same. The great king counted his armies like a god counts stars. He bridged the strait with rope and wood and will. He watched an army without number cross the water, the greatest force the earth had ever seen, and still in Athens the ships were still being built. The wood still green, the pitch still wet, the oars not yet cut. One man looked east and saw what none would answer. The cities of Greece had 10 years, and the 10 years were up. I record this so the world shall understand, and nothing that came next was a surprise. The signs were there for any man who looked. The storm was always visible. To
sails. 1,000 ships upon the water, an army without number behind the gales.
This is where my inquiry leads. This is what the great